and welcome. I'm Olga Trofimtseva and you're watching Head to Head with UATV. The European Union remains among the top 5 major trade partners of Ukraine in agriculture. Over the course of last year, the agriculture and food commodity turnover between Ukraine and the EU increased by 11% when compared with 2017 and totaled to be more than $8 billion. Obviously, we would like this upward trend to continue. What can be done for this to happen? We will address the question to Olga Trofimtseva, Deputy Minister of Agrarian Policy and Food on European Integration. She is currently with us in the studio. Hello, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, the turnover has been growing, right? Is it more about export to the European Union or import from the EU?
Yeah, thank you for your question. First of all, I would like to say that we have the bilateral trade turnover in agriculture and food more than even 9 billion dollars as for the year, the whole year 2018. And Ukraine has the positive trade balance with European Union in this sector. That means that we are exporting more than we are importing from European Union.
We're exporting more.
Yeah, so we are here at least in a win situation. Yeah.
Yeah, earning money.
Yeah, earning money with our agricultural and food exports to European Union. And I must say that we have now the latest and most fresh statistics as for the 12 months of 2018. Agricultural and food exports towards European Union countries have grown and they are more than $6 billion in 2018 and even more than $6.3 billion. And yeah, I mean, out of this $9 billion of turnover, and we imported from European Union, that means less than $3 billion of the agricultural and food products.
But, excuse me, it grew by $6 billion
not
from
by,
9?
but to $6.3 billion.
So 6.3 is the highest.
Yeah, it grew by $500 million comparing to 2017. Or if we are talking about the percentage, so it's more than 8% growth comparing to the previous year, 2017.
What was the turnover before 2017?
Before 2017, we also had, let's say, sort of mixed picture. But what we see that since the signing of the
association agreement,
DCFTA, and association agreement, the bilateral trade between Ukraine and European Union is steadily growing. And for instance, 2018, we had even more growth of imports towards Ukraine. So that means, as I'm always saying, that the bilateral trade is working both sides, both for Ukraine and for European producers.
So European producers, they're also interested in Ukrainian market, this means,
absolutely.
And they would consider Ukrainians as a possible consumers for their products.
Yeah.
This is a very positive thing. What are Ukrainian top export positions?
We are still exporting a lot of grain and oilseeds to European Union. We are exporting also the sunflower oil and other kind of oils. But in 2018, we also noted the growth of the exports of such commodity groups like, for instance, chocolate and products made of chocolate. We also sold more confectionery and sugar products. We also
sweets go abroad,
yeah,
yes?
Sweets, exactly. So sweets, we are selling more and more sweets to European Union. We also sold and traded more actively comparing to 2017 with berries, with different kind of fruits and nuts. We also were in plus this also already last year, there's such products like dairy and different kind of spreads, etc. So the another trend which we are observing in our bilateral trade with the European Union, again since the DCFTA signing, this is the diversification of the trade structure and export structure. So what when we are seeing how the Ukrainian agricultural and food exports are changing, we see that more and more products, new products, are rising here in this structure.
And they comply with the European standards, which means they can enter the European market.
So without complying these European standards, you cannot get the so-called Euro 1 certificate. This is the first thing. And the second thing, even by the way, another one figure that in December of 2018, we had an information about 308 Ukrainian companies which were able to sell their products of animal origin to European Union. Why I'm stressing that? Because when we're talking about the products of animal origin, let's say dairy or meat products or any kind of other products or fish products or even honey, normally that's even more complicated procedures to get the permission and to get such kind of the
because it's always risky to consume
like European Union, right? And you know, even like 3 or 4 years ago, nobody could imagine that more than 300 Ukrainian companies will be able to do that.
Just 308?
Yes, 308 companies. Out of them, a lot of exporters of honey, a lot of...
If we say 308 companies, is it a lot or not much comparing to the whole territory of Ukraine?
Again, we are talking only about the exporters of the animal origin products. Companies who are trading with the European Union in general, the number is much more. The companies who are having this Euro 1 certificate. And, you know, as I'm always saying, you should take into account the dynamics always, because at the beginning of the process, after
there was nothing.
Exactly, there was rather nothing or nobody, who who traded their products with European Union, and already, as I said, 4 years in 4 years we have a completely different picture, and what we see that our producers, our producers are getting more and more competitive, and more producers are interested in the European Union market, and we are trying to get an information how we can get to that market, how we can comply with the standards, with the higher standards in not only in production but also in processing, etc., in marketing standards, in packaging, and all that aspects which are also important besides the production itself. So this is a positive tendency in a complex.
You reminded dairy products. If we speak about this production, I know that Poland is the main kind of producer of dairy around the European Union, and it's cheap to produce in Poland, and these milky products, they go everywhere in the European countries. How competitive is Ukraine comparing to Poland?
You know, when we're talking about Poland, by the way, it's not only about dairy. As we've seen last year, the Polish farmers even organized the protests because of the growing Ukrainian exports, not only of dairy products but all other products towards European Union through Poland. But if then they're talking about the dairy products, in some categories we are already the competitors, and they're already competing these Polish producers. Definitely. There are still some product groups where, you know, first of all, when we're talking about the dairy products market in the European Union, it's high competitive. It's not only highly competitive. It's not only about the Polish producers. It's also about the German producers. It's about French producers who are very strong, and who are very strong not only in the European Union but worldwide. We are selling their products, you know, from the United States to China, and
plus every country has a local producer for sure.
Absolutely, and that's why to compete with them. For Ukrainian exporters of dairy products in such categories like, I don't know, yogurts or some kind of fresh dairy products, it's a little bit difficult. It's still difficult. But as I said, in 2017 and 2018, we had a very good already track and export track in such products like butter or some kind of spreads, or also dry milk, powder, etc., etc.
Well, we're running out of time, unfortunately, but I still would like to hear a few concluding tethers from you. What are the key items that contributed in this growth last year?
The key items were, again, some kind of grains. First of all, we exported more of corn to European Union. We also exported more of such products like poultry meat, but also eggs and products made of eggs. We exported more products like chocolate and other sweets.
Sweets, yes,
exactly.
As you
So we these were the main drivers of the growth. Actually.
That's great. And what countries are the most interested interested in Ukrainian products?
It's again, we have more or less like traditional here picture when we're talking about the main importers. First place is taken by the Netherlands. Second place is taken by Poland. Third place in European Union among our main trade partners or import markets is taken by the Spain, and the fourth place is Germany.
Great. And just briefly about the plans for this year.
For this year, we are continuing with our Euro integration, with implementation or approximation of the Ukrainian legislation in their fields of food safety, veterinary issues, sanitary, phytosanitary issues in Ukraine, because again, this is the framework, a legislative framework and political framework, which helps our producers then to go to European markets, to European Union markets, and which helps Ukrainian exporters to be more competitive, not only European Union market, but actually globally. So this is our primary task, as it was the last couple of years as well.
Well, let's put it this way. What goals do we hope to reach within this year on the European market?
On the European
market?
Let's not
talk about, yes, world scale, but at least on the European market.
When we're talking about the European market, actually we are following our strategy, again, of a diversification. That means that we would like to sell more products to European market, that is first thing, and more processed products. Here we're talking about the ready-to-eat products, organic products, which could be sold directly to the supermarkets, etc. And in this case, it's very important to help our producers and to assist our producers and exporters to present themselves and to learn how to work, for instance, under the private labels, or how to prepare their products, because sometimes, you know, we have great products with a high quality, but when we're talking about the marketing standards, when we're talking about the packaging standards, which should be aligned again with European ones, here Ukrainian producers are maybe in a weaker positions comparing to their Polish colleagues, for instance. And this will be also one of the focuses of our work in the current year.
I understand. Well, thank you so much for your clear answers, and thank you for being a guest today in our studio.
Thank you as well.
That was Olga Trofimtseva, Deputy Minister of Agrarian Policy and Food on European Integration. Thank you for watching Head to Head. I'm Ales Gardyuk. Goodbye.